Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Mark McLaren and this is the home of the Nothing to Something podcast. It's the podcast that's been put together specifically for you guys to hear real conversations with real people about overcoming real struggles on their way to achieving real success. Today we've got a belter for you. We've got 5 steps to getting ahead of your peer group. As I'm recording this video, we're actually in 2023. For a good few years now, we've been in an information age. Now, depending on how you use technology, you can either be a slave to it or you can make it a slave to you. As a result of this, the vast majority of society, especially with a certain age group, this is working to their disadvantage. Every spare minute is spent scrolling through the phone, social media, you know the dance. So let's get straight into it. Number 1 is humility. We currently live in an age of egos, which is led by social media and everybody putting their perfect best foot forward. Nobody's perfect, not me, not you, not anybody. Having the humility to understand that you are far from perfect, you will never be perfect and will always be a work in progress is going to serve you in the long run. Have the humility to know that you're not at the top of your field. Regardless of how good you are, there is somebody out there that is better. Reach out to these people. Ask questions, mither, drop them a DM, send an email, stop them in the street. Look at people who are where you want to be and use these people. Have the humility to use these people as your mentor. What's the worst that could happen? They could say no or you could get blanked. Have the humility to understand that your knowledge could be much improved. That's what's going to spur you on to put extra time into reading, into listening, into learning new things. You can have more than you've got. You can be more than you are because you can do more than you are currently doing. Step number 2 that's going to help you stand out is the utilization of your time. At the time of recording this video, we're in 2023. We currently are and have been for a long time living in an information age. Now there's good and bad to this. You can either be a slave to technology or you can make technology a slave to you. Far too many people are wasting far too much time day to day. You've only got to look at somebody's screen time or time spent scrolling social media to understand what you could have done with that time. As the saying goes, time is our most precious commodity. Use it wisely. No wasted time, no scrolling the explore page. If you've got a spare 10 minutes, put a podcast on, read a chapter of a book, conversate with somebody that can bring something to the table. From this point forward, no wasted time. Step number 3 that's going to help you stand out is self-love. Regardless of how good you think you are, regardless of how ambitious you are, regardless of how hard you're willing to work, if you don't look after number 1, you're going to struggle. This means hydrating, eating the right nutrition, getting to the gym, spending some time creating some mental clarity, having a certain level of self-awareness, talking to yourself. They do say after all that the most important conversations you'll ever have are the ones that you have with yourself. Just think about how much you care for your loved ones, what you do for them. Do the same things for yourself. Put you first, look after number 1, mentally and physically, and that's going to put you in the best possible position to be able to perform. Number 4 is network. Having the correct network of people around you is absolutely priceless. Speaking from example, I grew up in South Manchester through the 90s into 2000s. I was a lad about town. I know literally hundreds, if not thousands of people. However, quality over quantity. Having the correct people around you is priceless. Get out there, network, look for like-minded people and keep those people around you at all times. And last, but by no means least, is be relentless. We've all been there before. Something takes our fancy, I'm going to give it a go. Before you know it, we get bored, we get sidetracked, we make a mistake, we fail, and we stop. Do not stop. If your reasoning for starting something is big enough in the first place, you shouldn't be stopping at the sign of hard times. If you fail, if you make a mistake, assess and go again. Be relentless. So there we go. Hopefully you guys have found those useful. Remember, it doesn't take a whole lot to stand out in the modern day. For most people, social media or a text message and their attention is gone. Stick to the 5 rules, follow them day in, day out, implement them as daily habits and watch where you will be in the near future. Thanks for listening. I'm Mark McLaren and this is the home of the Nothing to Something podcast. Be sure to share, like and most importantly, subscribe for success.